I do want to go to these pictures. This is the west front of the Capitol, and you see the smoke is building, and this being a live situation unfolding. I don't have a ton of information about what exactly has transpired, but you see the flash there. Sometimes a flashbang is used by law enforcement to try to disperse a crowd. It's obviously one of the tactics in their tool belt, and it seems we saw the FBI SWAT team come in earlier. Brian, I think no question that they are trying to bring this now to an end and say it's enough. Time to try to clear the Capitol and get back to business. Pete Williams, our justice correspondent who covers law enforcement. Pete, you have a more trained eye for what we're seeing here, and you certainly have sources inside the law enforcement agencies. What do you see?
Yeah, I can't really be sure where the flashbangs were being set off, whether it was there on the portico, I guess you would call it, or not the portico, but the balcony or whatever that is, outside the Capitol, or inside. But there was certainly smoke that blew. It did appear to be a smoke grenade or a flashbang, and not the deployment of a chemical irritant like tear gas. But you know, from this low vantage point, it's hard to tell whose it was. I assume it's law enforcement's. The reason I'm somewhat unsure is that we've been told that several, possibly more than 2 improvised explosive devices have been found on the Capitol grounds. I would think if it was something like that, people would be scattering, and they're not. So that leads me to believe that it probably is law enforcement. And if the intent of it is to get people to move away, it's not having an immediate effect. But I think the other thing that's interesting in this picture is the number of law enforcement people now. We're finally starting to see a definite show of force, a large deployment. All those yellow vests are, I assume, law enforcement, or at least people, official people that are trying to get that crowd moved out of there. So we're starting to see a much bigger deployment. We know that other law enforcement people are coming. They're coming from nearby states. We've just been told that the New Jersey State Police are now sending about 50 people. The FBI's there, the Secret Service there, Homeland Security. Just about every 3-letter law enforcement organization in the D.C. area is there. And, you know, I think one of the questions is going to be why has it taken so long to get them there and to kind of coordinate how this is going to work? It does seem, Savannah, from all the pictures we've seen today, now people seems like they're definitely being pushed back. From all the pictures we've seen today, it does seem like the word had gone out early on to the people who were in the Capitol at the time, the law enforcement folks, the Capitol Police, Metro Police, to the extent that they were there, not to confront, not to have any violent confrontations, but to avoid that as much as possible. That
it sure seemed that way. I mean, Pete, when you saw people just streaming through Statuary Hall as though it were, you know, a high school tour, and no one stopping them, it definitely seemed that was a tactical decision. That's the picture earlier.
Well, and you see that the Capitol policemen just sort of standing at the side, I guess 2 of them waiting for instructions or something, but they may have well made the calculation that those 2 were not going to stop those people, and that there wasn't much they could do, and that but by letting them go through and letting them get into the building, of course, we now know what happened.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.